coming up on that time of winter solstice. And we know Jesus is about to die on the cross. But actually, I also heard that he died in April. But of course, they have to mix up the story a little bit. But we all know that Easter is dictated by the full moon. So it's astrologically determined. That's why it changes up. So it's not like Jesus actually died on a specific day. They're celebrating when the sun dies on the cross of its horizons of axis. Anyway, the sun is going to die on the cross for 3 days after the winter solstice, which is going to come to a pause where it's not going to go any lower or any higher in degrees. Symbolically, the sun dies for 3 days. And then on December 25th, Christmas, the sun is rebirthed. It moves 1% north every day, 1 degree. I said 1%. It moves north 1 degree every day, forcing longer days and warmer days, adding a minute a day, but it all adds up. A minute a day adds up. And then what is it add up to? Easter. The first full moon after the spring equinox.
Go so that I can go. Anyway.
That's why we celebrate Easter, because Jesus' resurrection, his rebirth again, when he was reborn. We celebrate that in Easter because that's when spring starts. The spring equinox. Equinox is equal days of equal length in day and time. So now we're back to equal day and time, where we're now going to get longer days. And that's why doubt science, doubt the facts. And you can't doubt the coincidences that all these different religions have the same story, and all of their stories are all similar to one factual story of the sun, of God, the universe, literally. Oh, that is cute.
Christmas decorations. Anyway,
it's all great. Like it's winter solstice. I'm about to have a minute extra a day. Like, come on, y'all, get the Christmas spirit. And it's not even about Christianity. It's about the goddamn fun, y'all. Get into this sun. Happy winter solstice. Okay, so I am borrowing the whiteboard, and I want to draw because I'm a visual learner and I guess a visual teacher. So we're going to start with, also you have to bear with me because I know in science class they show like a picture of Earth, 4 different Earths, and then 1 sun. Here I'm going to draw 1 Earth, 4 different suns to represent why there's spring equinoxes and solstices and things like that. So bear with me. First I'm going to draw Earth. First I'm going to draw Earth in the middle. Voila, we have the Earth. The winter solstice is the shortest day of the year. So, if we look at this from our perspective, this is like the equator, our perspective. So, during the winter solstice, it's the shortest day of the year. The sun is over here. Say we all live on the equator, we're going to see how the sun dies on the axis, on the crux of the constellation here. So, during the winter solstice,
which is the winter solstice, December 21st. The sun is always going down up until spring solstice. Okay, let me explain to you why I'm also thrown off because my rough draft. I'm dyslexic, of course, so that's why my sun is not moving and it's a little backwards for how they teach it. So here I have winter solstice at the bottom, because for my visual, the bottom is the lowest, shortest time of the day. So for my visual, this is how I understand it. However, I'm going to try to teach it the way that they actually do it.
Okay, so we're here. Today we are celebrating the winter solstice. It's the shortest day of the year. So from this day, after the shortest day, for 3 days, perceivably from our perspective in the northern hemisphere, at its lowest point. Visualize like this being like a sunset, and it's at its lowest point, going lower and lower. is gonna stop here.
This is why my visual is better. Because granted, this looks like the perspective, but when I'm trying to explain, I need my winter solstice sign to be
at the bottom.
I know what they're trying to teach on Google and stuff, but I know that my dyslexic brain is thinking about this the right way. So,
if our winter solstice,
here's the sun. It is December 21st, the shortest day of the year.
from this day, we have the winter solstice. Why is it so significant and why is this a big celebration? Because
After December 25th, when the sun starts to go back up, this is the lowest point, the lowest degree of the sun. As at its lowest point, that's why I have it down here. From our perspective, it's at its lowest, right?
so then it dies and it has a pause from the 22nd, the 23rd, and the 24th. The big celebration of Christmas is December 25th, when the sun goes back up 1 degree, equaling 1 extra minute of sunlight a day.
After the shortest day, the sun dies for 3 days, at least perceivably, so the
3 days. The ancients symbolize this as the sun's death because it wasn't moving at all. It was like, it was just done. So,
for those 3 days, it doesn't move. However, on December 25th,
Christmas, the holidays, the sun
starts to move back north 1 degree a day, or 1 degree more a day, adding on an extra minute.
as all of those minutes add on, the sun
Ends up being up here for spring equinox.
spring equinox. Equinox means equal day and night, equal length and day and night. So I like to call that fraction 12 hours, 12 hours. Equinox. So now that's a celebration of, what do? We celebrate Easter, the resurrection.
However, the resurrection of the sun in the sky, resurrected on the 25th, down here during winter solstice,
We don't celebrate this big celebration. Well, we celebrated it on Christmas. We celebrate it again after the spring equinox because after that we get to see the fruits of the labor.
all those minutes that added up, all those minutes finally added up to spring and the spring equinox. Now we have seen the sun's labor of pushing north, overcoming those winter nights,
Jason, you better stop moving that desk and listen.
overcoming those winter nights, overcoming those darkness, those dark shadow times, to
Rebirth and finally have longer days and nights where we can visually see life coming back to life, earth coming back to life.
flowers and fruits and vegetables. Everyone's trying to garden now. Literally, life itself is rebirthing. That's why we have a new year. This is why some people celebrate this as the new year. Because
Because life is literally becoming brand new.
while the calendar year still celebrates the new year, right after the sun just started coming north. So yeah, this is a time where
It's still a time where we're rebirthing and renewing life and things like that. However, it's not necessarily a new year. It's just a new opportunity to do what the sun is doing, add an extra day, add an extra degree a day to loom yourself, to get yourself ready for the new year, which is the spring equinox.
the big celebration. We celebrate December 21st, the winter solstice, which after that, for the next 3 days, what happens? The sun is at its lowest point. The shadows are the longest they will ever be all year. And for 3 days, the sun stays at that point. But after those 3 days, it starts rising 1 degree and 1 minute every day. When is that celebration? When is December 25th? Yes, December 25th. The rebirth of the sun. The sun rebirths itself, conquers darkness, starts to set. Set was the ancient canon. Anyway, the sun starts to move up. We're celebrating the rebirth. He was reborn again. I mean, I guess he was born here, if we were to look at like we started life in the wintertime. Anyway, the point is, it's the time of rebirth up until Easter, where we get to celebrate all of his hard work and the fact that he literally has been working from getting this time to 12 hours, day and night, to push forward more for even longer days, which is the longest day, hottest day of the year. Just to after that, slowly but surely, still enjoy those fruits of his labors while we still say goodbye 1 minute a day to the sun. We go back to that 12-12, down to the shortest day.
Happy winter solstice.
Oh, also, when it's on the summer solstice, your shadows are the shortest they'll ever be all year.
What's the shortest?
Your shadows will be the shortest they've ever been on this day right there. That day, your shadows will be the shortest they've ever been all year.
Nice. See? I'm learning. But I hope you guys enjoyed. I was trying to figure out how I can say this. So I recorded a few videos. I'm gonna put them all together.
Also,
To talk. You can come on.
also, if the days get higher, the shadow gets bigger.
I think that's right. You said the shadow gets bigger, something like that. You guys can teach me some more about that stuff. But
And if you get closer to something that has light on it, then your shadow gets bigger and bigger.
I agree. I like that perspective. The shadow gets bigger if you put the light on it. If you put the sun lower and lower, then your shadow's going to stretch out more and more. Versus if the sun is coming up top of you, your shadow's going to shrink. Nice. You're so smart and intelligent.
Hope you enjoyed gamers. Be sure to like,
Hope you enjoy
subscribe,
gamers.
and turn post notification
Gamers.
bells on. Peace.
Peace out.
It's all a big celebration, and it's a lot bigger than Easter bunnies and eggs and Jesus dying on the cross and coming back for our sins. Our sins are, I guess, like the cleansings of what we just died off. Oops, it's a lot of wind. Oh man, I hope that's not that loud. But the cleansing and our sins are all of what we just shed and died off over the winter. So it's just a big celebration. And once we realize, well, at least for me, like once I realized what I'm really celebrating and I had real intent behind what I was doing, it rebirthed a new meaning of life for me. Sun worship is ultimately the greatest worship there is. Like if you're gonna worship a God, you're gonna worship the sun, worship Earth, who gives us life, who can't do anything without the sun. The sun has nothing to give life to without Earth. So just bringing more intentions behind what we're living amongst. Like we're living amongst the gods and goddesses, forming life and creating life, all of these divine beings and energies that have power to manipulate human forms. And ultimately that's what the word God means. And finding that new beautiful realization is, man, it's breathtaking. And breath is God.